Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com. I am playing World of Tanks. The particular tank that I have right now is a Matilda 4, and this video is about crew skills and crew experience and perks. Right now I share my crew with this other medium Russian tank, the T-44, but what you'll notice is that they all leveled up. And you have this little square with a plus sign next to all these crew members. So what that means is that I can add another skill or perk for them to work on. And I'm going to show you how I do it. I go to the personal file, and you see here it says skills available for training. And it says 3% partly. And if you don't select a skill, it still keeps track of the percentage. So you don't lose anything by not selecting a skill. Now, this is the commander. The commander has the most important skills. There's probably going to be 5 skills you want. You know, you're going to want Sixth Sense. You're going to want Recon. You're going to want Camouflage. That would be 3. You're going to want Mentor. You're going to want Jack of all trades. Those are going to be the 5 that you're going to want. Jack of all trades is a skill. Mentor is a skill. Camouflage is a skill. Now, they all have the rest of these, like radio operator. I would say, other than situational awareness, don't worry about them right now, because you don't know what tank this is going to go into in the future, and you might pick something over here that's no good in a future tank. For example, the T-44. Let's see what the T-44 does. T-44 does not have a radio operator. Okay, so we are going to look at his skills. I would say that we have Sixth Sense, very important to have Sixth Sense. Recon is very important, allows you to see tanks that are further away. Camouflage, very important. It makes it harder for people to see you. That's why you want camouflage. Mentor, I definitely recommend, because it increases the experience of all crew members. So that's why, you know, it's an important skill. You see over here I got 116%. With this, with Mentor, it will raise it even more, which means that their accuracy will be better, the load times will be better, maybe the tank will drive faster. You know, everything will perform a little bit better. Jack of all trades, if one of your crew members becomes injured, the commander will take over his role. So, for example, if your loader becomes injured, the load time might be cut in half. So it might go from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. But if you have Jack of all trades, that won't happen, because the commander will take over that responsibility. So these are all skills, which means that it's on a scale of 1 to 100%. 1 meaning that it only is 1% effective, and 100 meaning that it's 100% effective. I usually pick Camouflage, and the reason why is because Camouflage is effective all the time. Mentor is only going to be effective when you're doing something. When it's reloading, it's going to reload faster, as an example. If you're not doing anything, then Mentor is not doing anything. Excuse me. Jack of all trades is only going to work when you have an injured crew member. How often does that happen? It might happen once every 20 games. So I recommend you get that one last. I recommend Camouflage, which is why I'm going to pick Camouflage. Now let's look at the next guy, who is a gunner. For a gunner, you definitely want Deadeye. It increases damage. Anything that increases damage gives you more EXP. Increase the chance to cause damage. That increases damage too. So that can give you more experience. It's something that you want. It's also a perk, which means that it has to be at 100% before it works. The next one is Snapshot. Although I got it because in your lower tier medium tanks it's great when you got a fast tank. Higher tier tanks, not so useful. So I'm probably going to get rid of that one. I like Designated Target. Imagine that. Makes the enemy visible for 2 more seconds. Who wouldn't want that? Especially on a tank with a 3-second reload time. So that could be very useful, as is Camouflage. I want to get rid of the snapshot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the reset option. And I'm going to pay, it's going to cost about $1, and I'm going to do a reset. And I'm going to pick the Deadeye. Increase the chance to cause damage. You definitely want that. I'm going to pick designated target. Makes the enemy target visible for 2 more seconds. You definitely want that, especially on light and medium tanks where you have a very fast reload time and you can get another shot in. And I'm going to get camouflage for my 3rd skill. After this, I would get repairs and maybe firefighting or snapshot. Now let's look at this next guy. We have the driver. The driver, I would say you want to get camouflage first. But you've got things like controlled impact, which is ramming. How often do you ram another tank? I suppose if you have a light tank or a medium tank, you might ram a little bit more often. But still, ramming might only come into play once every 20 games or once every 10 games. It doesn't happen that often. Although, when I go after enemy SPGs, I definitely use the ram. You know, I shoot at the SPG and then I ram it. It doesn't really work against the higher tier SPGs because they have a lot more armor. Vehicle traverse speed, this is something you want for heavy tanks because heavy tanks, you're constantly spinning them around. You might not spin it around so much with a medium tank. Improving accuracy when firing on the move. And repairs, I would say you should probably pick camouflage first. Off-road driving, because you're constantly driving in a game. You want to get a little bit of extra speed. And then after that, I don't know, repairs. I use the repair kit consumables. The small repair kit, large repair kit. It's rare that you get into a 3rd repair, so you don't really need repairs. I have the automatic fire extinguisher, so you don't really need firefighting, although I do plan on switching that to first aid. In addition, how often do you get a fire? You don't get a fire that often. Which is why I'm getting rid of the automatic fire extinguisher, and I'm going to have first aid instead. So I would say it's your choice. You probably don't want preventative maintenance unless you have a particular problem with a tank that catches on fire very often. I don't have that problem. I'm going to say, if it were me, I would probably get smooth ride. Improves accuracy when firing on the move, because this is for a medium tank. You're more likely to be on the move firing. Or maybe repairs. I don't know. It's a tough decision. Clutch braking. Increased vehicle traverse speed. Improves accuracy when firing on the move. Repairs. You know what? I'm going to get repairs. It really doesn't matter. Don't go crazy picking one. With the exception of camouflage. You really want camouflage to be first. Okay. Let's see what we got for this 3rd guy. If you click on the little plus sign, it should open up the skills. As you can see, I got camo, I got repairs. Intuition isn't very useful. Safe stowage, for the most part, is not very useful. Maybe if you play in clan wars, you might want this because people might shoot at your ammo rack more often. I could see that adrenaline rush might be cool. If you have less than 10% hit points, you know, that can happen often in a game. Why wouldn't you want your gun to reload faster? Brothers in Arms is something that people pick, but you got to get it for everybody. I think I'm going to get firefighting. Remember, if you use the reset option, you could always change it later. In fact, I might do it now. I might get the adrenaline rush. Accelerates gun loading instead of firefighting. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to get the adrenaline rush. So I'm going to use the reset option, and I'm going to pay the $1. And I'm going to get adrenaline rush, because that could theoretically happen in any game. I'm going to get camouflage, I'm going to get repairs. And look at that, it's at 12%. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so that is how I would choose the skills for this particular tank. If you have any questions, please post them below. You're also welcome to look at my other crew experience videos to see what all the skills do in more detail, which ones I pick, which ones I recommend. Thank you.